What we're going to talk about now is negative coefficients with radicals, okay? And I'm going to start calling radicals by having the same meaning as with our fractional exponents because really they're one of the same thing. Okay, so what I have is just a number of examples on the board, and we're going to talk about basically the sign, the positive negative aspects of most of the examples. So 64 to the 1/2. Remember, 1/2 is just the same thing as the square root, so really it's the same, the square root of 64, just 8. Okay, negative 64 to the 1/2. So really the only difference between this and the one above it is the negative sign. And remember that order of operations tell us to do our exponents before our plus or minus or even multiplication. So really we still have to do 64 to the 1/2 first, square root of 64, which is 8. And then the negative comes out in front, so this leaves us with a negative 8. Okay, negative 64 to the 1/2. Now the negative is actually associated with this 1/2. So now we're taking the square root of negative 64. We can't take the square root of a negative number, so this is going to be not real. Okay. This last example is exactly the same as the one above, but with this negative side out in front. So again, the negative 64 to the 1/2, this is the square root of a negative number, which is not real, so this is not real as well. Okay. So basically, making sure we know when this negative is associated with that power, with that square root, with that rational exponent. Okay, let's take a look at some odd roots. Okay, we were talking about 1/2 back there. That means we're dealing with square roots. 1/3 means we're dealing with cube roots. Okay, the difference with cube roots is we can actually have the cube root of a negative number. 27 to the 1/3, cube root of 27. This is just going to be 3. Negative 27 to the 1/3. Again, the 1/3 is not associated with the negative sign. Order of operations tell us we have to do the exponent first. 27 to the 1/3 is 3. Negative out in front tells us this is negative 3. Negative 27 to the 1/3. We're now dealing with the cube root of negative 27. Cube root of negative 27. We can take the cube root of a negative number, which is going to be negative 3. Our last one, the inside is exactly the same as what we were just above. So this inside is going to be negative 3, but we have a negative out in front. So we have negative, negative 3. Two negatives cancel, just giving us 3. So what we really have is just a bunch of examples on how we consider the negative sign, making sure we know when it's associated with the power, with the root, and when it's just hanging out on the outside.